Yeah,
Good evening, all.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good
Yeah,
evening, ma'am.
very good evening. Let me share the PPT. Is it visible? PPT is visible?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Fine. Okay. So, we are in our last session of the project management. So today we will discuss about the importance of contract and contract management in any projects, and we will see few examples about like what is the actual difference between the waterfall projects and agile projects. Okay. So here this we have now like already seen. Um, how what is a project management and what are all its specific features and the types of project management and the principles of project management and everything. Now let's now like have a quick review on the 9 management functions no when it comes to project. So what are all the 9 management functions? So there is no like everything is outlined in project management body of knowledge framework. So all the 9 management functions which is essential for project management, so it is no like outlined in project management body of knowledge framework, that is PMBOK framework. So first one is project integration, scope, time, cost, human resource, communications, quality, risk, and finally contract and procurement. So first is project integration. This is to coordinate all aspects of the project and to make sure it is smoothly executed. And the scope is like to define the project's boundaries. So what is the scope of like carrying on with this project, to carry on with this project? What is the scope, where it is to be applied, and like what is to be met at the as the end goal, or as at the end objective. So what it has to be met, and the time factor is creating a realistic schedule and setting the deadlines and managing the project timelines. Then comes the cost. So every project has some specific cost. So estimating the estimate and control project expenses to stay within the budget constraints. Then it's a human resource. So few projects may require like a very minimum group of people, and few projects may require like extensive manpower. So gathering the people with skills, keeping the team latched, and keeping them informed and follow up. Then the communication part, timely and effective communication, updating the management and negotiating the timeline. That is, if at all the project timeline is going to extend, so with the management and with the clients, you have to negotiate the timelines. Then quality, so managing the quality beyond the techniques and procedures in business style and attitude. And risk, create a risk list, perform risk mitigation, and take measures to avoid risk by choosing insurance or hedging options. And finally, contract, going on with the contract or the procurement process. So not confined to goods and items, but also includes people and company and end result of make or buy analysis. Now let's get into this contract, the importance of contracts in project management. So what is a contract? It is like a kind of agreement, a signed and accepted agreement between two parties who are involved in the project, two or more parties. So the contract outlines the agreement made by a buyer and a seller or a supplier, and the contractor, the buyer, the seller sign dictates all aspects of their business transaction. So there are two contractors, independent contractor and a subcontractor. So independent contractor, it can be an entity or it can be an individual. So who undertakes the contract to provide materials or labor to perform a service or to do a job. And bound by contractual agreements and non-compete clauses, and they generally work with only one client at a time. Independent contractors, they work for only one client. If it is a government contract, they take up only one project at a time. They won't get into multiple projects. So they get into only one project. And they tend to work on location with the client team. And the subcontractor. So these are like it can be individual people, or it can be like business entities who signs the contract to perform part of all the obligations of another contract. That is contractor's contract. Contractors, contract person is the subcontract. So this subcontractor is hired by a general contractor or a prime contractor to perform a specific task only, not the whole project. That part of a specific task is outsourced by the main contractor to the subcontractor. So while the most common concept of subcontractor is building works and civil engineering, the range of opportunities for subcontractor is much wider, and it is possible that the greatest number now operate in the information technology and information sectors of business. So all the BPOs, like small time BPOs, they are like subcontractors of the main contractors, like Indian software companies or BPO services, like providing companies, they buy contract from the foreign IT companies or BPO companies and banking companies. And here the main contractors again outsource their part of work to subcontractors. So the many IT related companies, they are into the subcontracting. So administering the contract or managing the contract. So contract administration is to assure the contractor's performance and the agency's performance, and everything is in accordance with all of the terms and conditions of the contractual agreement. So contract administrator mainly deals with type of a project, the nature of a project, type of financing involved, the qualification, project location, standard form of contract, cost to project, and past experience. So how to go with the contracts, no, like in a project management. So fixed price contracts. So if a project is no like taken upon with the contract, fixed price contract, what does it mean? So these are useful when the scope of the project is clearly defined and easy to understand, and the parameters of the project are clearly outlined from the outset. The seller and supplier can provide a definitive price quote for the work. Here the price doesn't change. Even if the cost of the raw materials, no, like provided by the contractor or provided by the supplier, who is a contractor actually. So even if it decreases or increases, so whatever cost has been mentioned at the time of signing the contract, so the price of the materials or price of the work, whatever it is, no, like that remains the same. So the price is fixed and cannot be altered without making formal contract amendments. It cannot be altered once a buyer agrees to the terms and conditions. So these FP contracts, it can be beneficial to the seller if they can complete the work outlined in the contract for less than they originally thought. That is, before the timeline, if the seller can know, like they complete the work for less than they originally thought, allowing them to capitalize on the profit. So this is a benefit here. And however, if an FE contract, the supplier is assuming cost related risk because they cannot increase their prices if unexpected expenses crop up over the course of the project. So there, no, like there is some risk, because if suddenly the price of the raw material increases or the sources increases, the supplier, no, the supplier cannot sell the material to the client, no, the price which is more than the price which is mentioned in the contract. There is like a risk happening there. FP contracts are considered lump sum contracts because there is one price to be paid upon project completion. And again, no, it is further classified into firm fixed price contract, fixed price incentive fee, and fixed price with economic price adjustment. So there are no like another type of contract, which is cost reimbursable contract. So this changes. It depends on the like the cost of the whatever materials or labor or the products, whichever is like is in the which is like agreed to be supplied upon. So it is always better, for any contractor to go with the fixed price contract, because like here the price is fixed, and the persons, so there's the contractors involved, like in this contract, who is into that project, so they don't have to like worry about the increase or decrease in the price. So if there is an increase in the price, then there is a risk for the supplier, or if there is a like a decrease in the price, then there is a risk for the buyer. So that is the only difference, or otherwise most of the projects like are taken up with the fixed price contract only. So then we will like deal with cost reimbursable contract. So a CR contract is often the best choice when there is a little information of for all parties starting out on a project. Whereas in fixed price, everything is like clearly defined. So the scope of the project, like what is the timeline, everything is like clearly defined, and that's why they have a fixed price, because nothing is going to change afterwards. But in CR contract, there is a little information for all the parties. So for example, if it is a research or development initiative, the CR model removes the need to set fixed rates for work that is difficult to predict or foresee, because there is no exact timeline. There is no end time, like we cannot predict the end time when we take up a project, like which involves the cost reimbursable contract. Few projects which doesn't have a fixed timeline, or don't know when it is going to like get completed, doesn't have a like a correct deadline. So for those type of projects, the cost reimbursable contracts can be signed. So instead, the buyer fronts the cost for whatever material, products, or labor is necessary to see the project through to completion. Responsibility falls solely on the buyer, guaranteeing the supplier that all the materials cost plus a fee for their services will be covered. So in the case of CR contracts, the buyer needs to closely monitor the expenses of the project because there is no obligation on the part of the seller or the supplier to keep costs down, to stay with the budget. So all costs incurred within the scope of work fall on the buyer only. So nominally, no, like when the price increases, the buyer has to pay more price, no, like than expected to buy the services of the contractor or buy the services of the supplier. So again, no, CR has no like various different types. So cost plus percentage of cost and cost plus fixed fee, cost plus incentive fee, and cost plus award fee. And the third type is time and material contracts. So it is completely based on dependent on the time and material factors involved in the project. So T&M contracts are a good choice for buyers who aren't sure exactly what they want from the outset of the project. Okay, so like they don't know like what is going to be the outcome. Okay, so with a T&M contract, the buyer contracts the seller based on rates of variables such as materials used in hours or days work. The contractor should include all the rates with possible markups and cost of materials. And when once the contract is signed, the agreed upon rates remain in place throughout the course of the project and are used to calculate the final amount the buyer owes and supplies based on the work they do. So there is a difference between these three contracts. And as I said, no, like it depends on the type of the project. So if you know what is going to be the outcome of the project, so everything is clearly defined, you can go for the fixed price. And if you're not sure about, no, like when the outcome, you know what is the outcome, but not sure about when the outcome is going to come, when it is going to get completed. So then in that case, you can go for cost reimbursable contract, and time and material contract is purely for such type of projects which doesn't know what is going to be the outcome. Okay, so these are the three types of contracts, the main classification of contracts. So there are no like advantages and disadvantages in all the three types. Let's see about no the disadvantages in advantages and disadvantages in time and material contracts. So advantages, it's easy to pivot if the specs change for the product. The speculations, no, specifications change for the project. And being able to handle delays or roadblocks with confidence because no, it's based on the time and material. So no, the buyer doesn't have to pay more. Okay, so they can no handle delays or roadblocks. And the negotiations are very simple because no, like there is no fixed cost mentioned in the contract. So negotiations are very much simpler. And cons is there is a disadvantages. Tracking time and materials is no like painful, and there is no benefit for being efficient. And your friend own your cost. You friend your own cost. That is no like whatever cost, no like it is up to you. How much ever you want to know like go upon with, you can go with these type of contracts. Okay, then comes the project definition phase. So once contract is no like everything is done, so definition defining the project. So gather the requirements, define the objectives, and create a project charter. Then execution phases, go with the develop no like dive into the exciting and dynamic phase of project execution, and you have to bring the project plan to life, that is in the execution phase, to manage the teams and overcome common challenges along the way. So first develop the project team, create a high performing team, skillful team who knows how to do the task. So don't go along with no like adding more members. Only have those members in the project team who knows what is going to be done, or no like what they have there, what role they have to be no like they have in that project. And assign the roles and responsibilities and foster the collaboration. Delegating the authorities, no like it's very important in a execution phase because the project leader has to understand every team member's skill set, their how much taskful they are. So accordingly, the designations or the like the responsibilities has to be delegated to each member in the team. Then execute the plan, implement the project activities as per the project plan, ensuring quality and efficiency, and monitor the progress. That's as the project like goes on, as the project is being implemented, you have to monitor the progress. Continuously track project progress, identify the risk, and take corrective actions to keep the project on track. So how to deal with like project management excellence. So learn how to establish a PMO. So while dealing with the projects, like you could see, the team always has its own very own office setup. That is like they run like an independent management within the organization. Though there is no like a top management, like happening there, these project teams they run like a like an independent management team. So learn how to establish a PMO to enhance project management practices, streamline the process, and foster organizational excellence. Then always have an effective communication with the team members. So clear and precise communication is like very essential. And managing the risk, like taking the risk mitigation effects, and like managing the risk, it's very important. So master the art of identifying, assessing, mitigating, and responding to risk to ensure project success even in uncertain environments. So project leadership we have already seen. Anyhow, like I'll just point out. So who is like an effective project leader? So visionary thinking. So if you have that visionary of like the vision of thinking, like far ahead. That is, you see the project, when it is going to end. You see the no risk in advance. You see the uncertainty in advance. You estimate the risk. You estimate the like the outcome. Everything you can like see in advance. So you're a visionary thinker. So apply foresight to envision the project's future state and inspire the team towards achieving the project goals. Then influential communication. It's not only about the project. No, you have to keep on influencing the team members. You have to keep on like motivating your team members. It depends on the project. No, like sometimes few projects can be of a shorter duration, but it can be stressful. And few projects can be like easy. Actually, like nothing more, not much task is involved. It could be easy, but sometimes it can prolong for a long time. It can extend for a long time. So during these cases, the members stress level or the morale, it may go down, and they may get like too much stress, or they get bored. They will not be like motivated to continue with the project anymore, or like contribute their skill set anymore in the project. So in such cases, it's the responsibility of the project leaders to identify the dullness or the stress level of each of the team member. So manage, like help them to manage with their stress, and help them to like come out of their comfort zone. So make things happen, keep on influencing them, and keep on motivating them. This is everything is done only through communication. And like sometimes a project leader can like recognize the team members by giving like awards and recognitions or whatever in front of the team to boost their morale. And the project manager, like leader, should be adaptive decision maker. That is making informed decisions, adapting the strategies, and solve problems when considering constraints and the project's dynamic nature. And then, so after the project, like is done or nearing its end process, so that should be a continuous improvement. Like so the deliverable, whatever is the deliverables, at the end of the project. So that should always have, there should always be a scope for continuous improvement. So that shouldn't be like something end product or like the end service of the company. Again, some more innovation things has to happen on the end project or the end service. With the importance of the continual learning and improvement in the project management, and explore the best methodologies, the best practices, and tools to enhance the project outcomes. So either you can choose agile methodology, which is always good for like enhancing and innovation. If you go for waterfall methodology, that's well and good, because like you can like minimize the cost, minimize the time, minimize the money, everything you can minimize. But like for innovative products, and for like companies and brands who wants to like excel in the innovation part, So they normally take up the agile projects only. So embrace the agility and iterative approaches for flexibility, adaptability, and improved project outcomes in today's fast-paced environment. And capture the project insights, analyze the successes and failures, and integrate valuable lessons into future projects for continual improvement. And always know, like, define the metrics to assess project performance and implement effective monitoring and control mechanisms. Clear? Is it clear as of now? Any doubts here? No?
Mom,
There are
can
no
you
doubts?
repeat this? Agile methodology?
I think agile methodology I have no explained in our last session or the previous session. Anyhow, see, agile methodology is all about no, like, there is no definite timeline to complete the project. Agile embraces the change in the outside environment and no, keep on implement it in its ongoing project. That's why it's called agile. Okay, so waterfall methodology is a conventional methodology where the timeline, everything is fixed. Resources to be used, workforce to be engaged in the project, and the suppliers and the final product, the definite everything is fixed. There is no change in that, and the project goes as it is. Like whatever it is, already streamlined. The project goes as with it. But agile is now different. That is complete opposite of waterfall methodology. And agile project, like as now it's complete, the whole project is divided into smaller tasks, which is called as sprints. Okay. So after the completion, every sprint, it will take at least a minimum of 2 weeks to maximum of 1 month to complete, and that is a time taken by the project management team. And so after the completion of each sprint, the team stops for a while. This is pauses for a while, take a look at the work or the project, whatever they have done, the task, whatever they have done, completed, and they monitor it and they analyze it. And if at all require, the change is again done on the project or again done on the process, and then they move on with the second sprint. That is the second stage. So this is how every phase or every sprint is completed, and finally the deliverables are delivered to the client. And another important factor is in waterfall methodology, the client involvement will not be there. The final customer, no, the end customer or the client, no, like they will not be involved in waterfall methodology. Like final deliverable only, will be delivered to them. But in agile methodology, clients are involved from the beginning of the project. That's why it's taking some time, because the client keeps on customizing the process, customizing the product, whatever they want. So accordingly, the product, the process will be developed for them, the service will be developed by the project team. So client involvement is done in agile methodology, because in agile customer is the key. But in waterfall methodology, that client involvement will not be there, and their quality is the main factor. Is that clear?
Okay, Mom.
Yeah. Okay. So shall we move on with the next topic? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, project monitoring and control. So what is monitoring? So collecting, recording, and reporting information concerning the project performance that a project manager or a leader and others have to know, wish to know. So that is monitoring. So, and what is controlling? Use the data from monitor activity to bring actual performance to the planned performance. That is comparing the planned performance and the actual performance, and see wherever the deviations has happened. And if a deviation has happened, analyze the root cause of the deviation, and once the root cause is found, so eliminate all the errors and eliminate all the defects, and which causes the problems or which causes the delays, and then go on with the performance. So that is the controlling process. So why to monitor? Sorry. Yeah. Why to monitor? So project monitoring and control helps to measure project performance. You have to measure the performance, right? So whether you're going according to the standards which is already set. So you have to measure it. So to use the process to look at the project plan, review project status, identify potential problems, and implement changes whenever necessary. So for these, monitoring is essential. And this allows managers to establish effective project timelines, including scope, budget, and schedule. And this phase coincides with the execution phase of the project life cycle. So when this monitoring has to happen? Before project, before start of the project, or during the project, or after the end of the project? When this monitoring has to happen? When you take like the waterfall methodology, this monitoring happens at the time of the execution of the project, implementation of the project. But if you take agile methodology, the monitoring happens from the very beginning. That is, no, while you are planning for a product or planning for a process, and when you're going for procuring, and when you're implementing the project and you're delivering the project, whatever, no, like whatever factor is happening in agile methodology, so everywhere monitoring happens. So simply because we know that things don't always go according to the plan, so that's why we have to monitor and to detect and react appropriately to deviations and changes to plan. So what to monitor? What you have to monitor? So monitor and control the project work, integrated change control, because in agile methodology, so changes will happen, no, like now and then. It keeps on, no, like the project, the process, it keeps on changing, because no, like more additions will be added to the existing project. So wherever, no, like changes is happening, so integrated change control should happen. And performance quality control, there it has to be monitored. Scope verification and control the scope, and control schedule and control cost, reporting the performance, and control the risk and administer the procurement. So these things, no, like everywhere, each and every component, it has to be monitored. So how to go with the process? First, gather the project status updates. So whatever has been done as of now, gather each and every data, then execute and revise the communication plan, then execute and revise the project schedule, monitor and manage risk and issues. So everywhere, no, if you see, no, only after monitoring, no, this can be, no, like taken, this can be done. And facilitate project change management and manage and track the decisions. So manpower has to be monitored. So checking, no, like whether whoever is given whatever responsibility is, no, they delegated to them, are they performing to the standards, no, like which has already been set by the project leader or by the project team. So monitoring the manpower, that is a human resources, and making sure, no, like they are utilizing their skill set, no, to develop the project, to develop the process. Then monitor the machines or equipments, whatever is involved in the project, and the materials. Okay, the quality of the materials, cost of the materials, the quantity of the materials, knowledge which is utilized during the project. So everything, no, everything related to materials has to be monitored. The the money factor, no, that has to be monitored. But though the management has no like allocated a budget or allocated some cost, no, for this particular project, so sometimes, no, it may go out of hand. The project may incur, no, like more cost, unexpected cost, no, it may incur. So in those types, no, in those scenarios, no, like money has to be monitored, cost has to be monitored. Then space, wherever the project is, no, like happening, wherever the project is being executed, no, the space has to be monitored. And the time taken for the project to be completed, time has to be monitored. Tasks of each and every uh, team member, no, that has to be monitored. And because there will be a schedule whenever a project has been started, so for each and every day there will be a schedule. It's like a timetable, no, like given to all the members in the project. So that particular day, what is their responsibility, what they have to do, what resources they have to take, from where they have to collect the resources, and know what to do with the resources, what should be the end result by utilizing those resources, and whom they have to report to. and where they can know like keep their remaining resources. So everything about the resources and the task will be like communicated with them. So the task, making sure each and every project member, the team member has to like utilize or like complete their task on time on a daily basis, and quality and technical performance. So inputs, if you see inputs, time is an input, money is input, resources we input in the project, the materials like we input, task, human task we input, and quality technical performance, skill set of the manpower we like input into the project. So these are the inputs. And when inputs are given and the process is done, so what would be the outputs? The progress, the cost, job starts, job completion, engineering or design changes, and the variation order. So these could be the outputs. When to monitor? As I said, like in waterfall methodology, only after the completion of the project, it would be monitored. So after the completion of the project, the process would be monitored, like whether they have reached the end deliverable, whether they have got their end deliverable. So once a deliverable is available, the final product or service is available, then they will like go for monitoring. But in agile methodology, monitor happens from the beginning. So you can monitor like either at the end of the project or continuously you can monitor, regularly you can monitor, that is like on a weekly basis or day-to-day basis you can monitor, and logically you can monitor, and while there is still time to react, you can monitor as soon as possible after completion of like the day-to-day work, or as soon as a task is done, or as soon as a process is done. So like you can go for monitoring, and after every task completion, monitoring can be done, and at pre-planned decision points, monitoring can be done. That is, in Agile, you have this pre-planned decision points called sprints, right? So from 2 weeks to maximum of 1 month. So after every sprint is done, completed, you can go for monitoring. So it depends on the type of the project. It depends on like what project methodology is being handled, whether it's waterfall or agile, and the timeline of the project, whether it's a short-term project or a long-term project, and it depends on the process, what is being like being delivered as the end result or as an end product or service. So what is being delivered, the deliverable, so that also matters. So depending on these factors, you can decide how frequently you can monitor when a project is happening. So how to monitor? So through meetings with clients, parties involved, and with the team members in the project, you can like go for monitoring, and with the help of like these quantitative techniques like the CPA charts, PERT charts, and the Gantt charts and all, you can go like you can monitor things, and using earned value analysis, and calculating critical ratios, and milestones like sprints, and collecting reports from the team, either on each and like either on a day-to-day basis or on a weekly basis, however it is, collecting the reports from the team members, and doing test and inspections, planned test inspections and unplanned test and inspections. So do these things these things also like can be considered, and delivery or staggered delivery, and PMIS, that is project management information system updating. So PMIS is it's a software which is used by the teams, project teams in organizations, to assist them with the project, with the ongoing project. So by any of these things, or through any combination of these things, like you can go do the monitoring process. So while conducting meetings, at the time of the project execution, or like after the completion, so what has to be discussed in the meeting? So generally, like the team leader, the project leader, and the members discuss about what difficulty, like they find while executing the project, while deploying the project, what difficulty they find, what resources they need more, and like whether it's like material or more systems or more equipments or more manpower. So what do they need more? And sometimes the team can ask for no extension of the deadline to the client, so that's also possible. And if at all no like more errors are happening, they would be no like trying to frame out no like the root cause of the errors, the root cause of the problems. So the all these things no it's usually no like it's discussed at the any project meeting. Okay, but other than that, what during the time of the meeting, what can be discussed is what problems no like do the team members have, and what is being done to correct them, and what problems do the team members anticipate in the future, that is no they expect in the future what may happen. Okay, and the team, whether the team member needs any resources which they have not yet have, and whether the team member needs more information which they haven't got it, and whether the team members know anything that will give the schedule difficulties, and any possibility of the task, whether it will finish early or late, and will the task be completed under the budget, over the budget, or on the budget. Okay, so these things can be discussed during the team meetings. And finally, the project closure, 6 steps of the general project closure process. First one is ensure that all necessary project tasks, process, and goals are achieved. Okay, so that has to be done, and coordinate with stakeholders and clients for approval, because only if the client approves a project, approves a deliverable, you should be able to close the project. If the client is not happy with the deliverable or require more, you cannot go for closure. You have to continue with the project. You have to extend the timeline. So then the third process is review the project together with the client, and fourth process is, if done, all parties shall formally recognize the project to be over. All the parties. So who are the parties? The management, the project team, the leader, project leader, the team members, the client, other stakeholders involved in the project, the contractor, everyone, the subcontractor, everyone. Okay. And the fifth process is project management team shall convene to discuss their learnings, and finally, formally document learnings for future reference. So everything will be documented. So these are the 6 steps to general project closure process. Clear? Okay, here they have given more points. So structured project closure. That is not like it's not like in a standardized format how to close a project. So project deliverables are formally transferred to others, lessons learned and documented and achieved, and contracts are formally closed. So all deliverables exit criteria are met, and transfer of deliverables to customer and support functions, PIR report, project information report, records, recommendations, and lessons learned for future projects. Because this documentation is very much necessary, because based on these learnings only, future projects will be taken care of. So concurrent engineering. This I think we have already discussed, but anyhow I'll highlight it once more. So concurrent engineering, it's also known as the simultaneous engineering, and it is a method for designing and developing the products in which different stages run simultaneously rather than consecutively. So rather than no consecutive learning or consecutive running, that is after A, B, and after B, C. So instead of consecutively, it runs simultaneously. Okay, so it decreases product development time and also the time to market, leading to improved productivity and reduced cost. For example, we can take an example. Concurrent engineering, say construction of a building. Okay, so that is a project. Consider that as a project, and a construction of a building or an independent house. So what happens? You have to know install everything, right? You have to construct the house with brick and cement, mortar and cement, and you have to know have the wall painting, and you have to know fix the pipelines, and you have to fix the electrical wires and everything, connections and everything. Yeah, you have to know lay out the ceiling has to be laid out, and you need the flooring, and finally the all the interiors of the house should be set right. So this is a project, right? So Concurrent engineering is all about, no, as the construction is happening on one side, designing the windows and, no, like the doors and windows, no, like processing the wood for doors and windows, which is to be attached in the house. So that will also happen simultaneously. So work A is, no, like going on one side and work B is going on the other side. And, no, like simultaneously, no, like the tiles to be, no, like fixed towards the flooring. So that would be purchased by the contractor or the subcontractor of the building, no, like that would be purchased. So they will procure those things and, no, like keep it well in advance, no, so that anytime, whenever it is required, so it will be taken to the premises and it would be, no, like installed in the flooring system. And, no, like another thing is, no, like fixing up the pipelines and everything, no, for drainage system and for, no, like water flow and everything. So everything has happened simultaneously. It's not that, so only after the complete construction of the house with brick and mortar, the next phase should happen, or the next process has to happen. So the construction is going on one side, and, no, this processing the wood for windows and doors, that's going for one side. And for flooring, whatever materials is required, that is the procurement is going on one side. So everything has happened simultaneously. So this is called as concurrent engineering. Also mentioned as called as simultaneous engineering or integrated product development using an integrated product team approach. So concurrent, sequential. So how it happens? So this is a normal engineering. So going for requirements, designing, implementation, verification, and production. But when it comes to concurrent engineering, first you go with requirements, then design and implementation, everything simultaneously. This is consecutively, one after the other, but this one is simultaneously it's happening. So when you go with the simultaneous process, what is the advantage there? Lead time, that is the deliverable time to the market, is reduced. So that is the advantage. Yes, this we have already seen. Yeah, any doubts here? Yes, we were going to see few more examples. Before that, any doubts? No doubts? Okay. Okay, so let me give you a few examples, no, like to show the actual difference between this waterfall methodology and agile methodology. So I've taken like a hospital as an example. Uh, so the project, what they are going to know, like take up is the hospital management. No, they want to implement a telemedicine appointment system. Okay, that is making appointment, like over the telephone. Okay, telemedicine appointment system, which allows the patients to book online consultations, upload their reports, and join video consultations. So this is what the hospital is, like planning to provide as a service, to their patients or their customers. Okay, so let me share the window. Second. Yes, here it is. Okay. Hope the screen is visible. Yeah. So let's see now the waterfall approach, how it works. So waterfall approach, it follows a linear sequential flow. That is, you start with the requirement, then go with the design, then development and testing and deployment and maintenance. This is a waterfall method. So this is a project. So a hospital wants to implement a telemedicine appointment system. So if you take the waterfall methodology, what comes first? So requirement gatherings, it would take 3 to 4 weeks time at least. Okay. So what would be done in the requirements gathering phase stage? So first they will conduct interviews with doctors, admin staff, and IT team, and they will conduct meetings together, and multiple meetings will happen. Okay, to check about the deliverables and identify complete list of features, because they need a patient registration portal, doctor scheduling module, the payment gateway, a video consultation interface, and prescription generation. Everything has to be, like over the telephone or no over the internet, right? So this things has to be available in the portal. And then document a full requirement specification, and requirements are signed off before moving ahead, because doctor's approval is required. Though it is no like over the telephone or over the internet, without doctor's approval the medicines cannot be suggested to the patient. So signed off, requirements are signed off before moving ahead. So this would take at least 3 to 4 weeks time. And then comes the system design. So high level architectural diagrams is required, user interface wireframes is required, database scheme is required, and technical design document, everything is required to be upgraded in the portal. So that would take again 2 weeks. And then the third phase is project plan, that is preparing the Gantt chart, fixing the timelines and milestones, and this would take at least a 6 months duration. Then again developing, so developers build the entire system, and no major changes allowed midway, because this is a waterfall project, so there is no changes allowed midway. And modules coded or appointment booking, video interface, and payments. So this would take again 10 to 12 weeks. And then comes the testing. There is integration testing, UAT by hospital staff. The staff who are going to use it have to test, right? So whether they are okay with that. And hospital staff has to test, and bug fixes only. That is not like if at all there is any bug or virus, fixing it then and there. So no new features is added during the testing time. And finally the deployment stage, so that would take again 2 weeks, but in few hospitals it would take more. If more departments are there, so it would take more time. So system is installed here during the deployment, and staff training is provided on how to use the portal or how to use the telecommunication service, and full launch only after the entire system is complete. And then the team goes with the maintenance. So if there is any issue happening when the system is, that is when the software is being used, the application is being used, for example like the payment gateway it's not going through, or the QR code that's not working, that's not being captured, or captcha is not working, whatever whatever issues the user faces so that would be raised to the technical team. And so patches and upgrades scheduled periodically, done periodically. So this is a maintenance phase. So maintenance that's a continuous phase, there is no fixed timeline. So if you take this waterfall methodology, so 3 to 4 weeks, 1 month, and again 1.5 months, and 6 months, so totally 7.5 months, and again 10 to 12 weeks, that would take 3 months, right? Yes, so 10.5 months, and again 3 to 4 weeks, 1 month more, 11.5 months, and again 2 weeks, almost 1 year. Okay, so the whole project, if you're using the waterfall methodology, it would take at least a minimum of 1 year. So what is the outcome of this waterfall methodology? Predictable and structured, because now we know what is going to be the outcome. And good for regulatory heavy environments. Hospitals are regulatory heavy environments, right? They follow the procedures. So there are regulations, So for that kind of environments, this is fine. But if doctors later request new features, that is like sending WhatsApp reminders or something like that, the project must go back to the requirement stage, causing delays and cost increases because of that. Okay, so that is what will be done in waterfall methodology. Now coming to agile methodology, the same implementation, the same project, but when used in agile methodology, how it's going to work. So here we know agile follows an iterative incremental process with continuous feedback. So first they plan, build, review, improve, then go for next iteration. Again plan, build, review, improve, go for next iteration. So there is a loop, it happens continuously. So what happens when we implement agile? So first is defining the vision, improving the patient access, reducing the clinic crowding, and enable seamless virtual care. So that is why they are coming up with this, enhancement, the hospital management, That's why, they're taking up this initiative. So telecommunication, okay. And building the agile team. So who is the product owner? The hospital IT head can be the product owner, the project owner, and project lead, the scrum master, the development team with the 5 to 7 members, and the subject matter experts. There can be like nurses, doctors, and paramedical team. So this is the agile team. Then create product backlog like user login and patient profile, doctor availability calendar, video consultation setup, and electronic prescription, and the uploading of the report by the patients. So these are the product backlog. And what should be prioritized. So must have is booking flow, video call, doctor scheduling. So this is a must have. And should have, that is not like a priority. I mean priority, not like possibility. Okay, is payment gateway. And finally could have is prescription sharing via SMS. That is an added feature. That's why could have. Okay. So sprint planning, because after the first phase, it will be like reviewed and monitored, and then the team goes with the second sprint, second phase. So when what would be the timeline? Sprint of 2 weeks. Everything now happens within 2 weeks. And sprint one goal is basic booking flow. Sprint second goal is doctor site dashboard. Sprint three goal is video call integration, and sprint fourth goal is e-prescription. So after every weeks, after 2 weeks, basic booking flow will be done. And after 4 weeks, doctor site dashboard will be done. After 6 weeks, video call integration will be done. And after 8 weeks, e-prescriptions will be done. So the deployment can happen anytime, because at the end of 8 weeks, that is 2 months, actually the portal has started working. The users can now start using the portal for electronic scheduling of the appointment and getting the electronic prescription. For sprint one patient booking, you can develop simple booking form, test quickly with doctors, and like maybe you can add one more column or a screen for previous visit reason. And in sprint two, what you can do, that is after 2 weeks, third and fourth week, what you can add to the portals, the doctor's dashboard, that is showing the appointments and allow the rescheduling by the doctors. So add color codes for urgent cases. You can give dark color shades or color codes for emergency cases or non-emergency cases, like that. And after 4 weeks of deployment and the sprint three phase, what you can do is going for video consultation. So integrate Zoom or Teams API and test with 5 doctors. So you have to test and fix the connection issues, whatever issues is happening, like low voice or like the voice not, heard, or the video resolution is not good. So whatever the issues is, like fix the connection issues. Then after 6 weeks, sprint four phase, go for e-prescription. Okay, so the patient should access the e-prescription. The doctor should be able to prescribe through electronically. So simple prescription format, auto send to patient email, and collecting the feedback. That is adding the digital signature by the doctor. And what is the agile outcome? System goes live in 6 to 8 weeks. Whereas in waterfall, it took almost 1 year for deploying, right, for implementing. But here, if you use agile, it goes live. The patients and the doctors and the teams they can actually start using the deliverable, start using the end product from 6 to 8 weeks of time with the core features, because core features is ready. After that, enhancement only happens. So additional features added in later sprints. Doctors continuously provide feedback and easy to incorporate new seeds, that is SMS updates or AI symptom checkers. So this can be added more as the time goes by. So this is a key difference summary. When it comes to project flow, waterfall is linear, but agile is iterative. It has different stages, break stages. And when it comes to flexibility, waterfall has very low flexibility, but agile has very high flexibility. Stakeholder involvement in waterfall is only at the milestone, that is the final milestone. Only after the end product is taken, only by that time stakeholder can have a look at the product or the process or the service. But in Agile, it is continuous involvement by the stakeholder. Then delivery, one final release, but multiple small releases, because after every sprint, the project, whatever is done as of now, that gets released. Feedback only at the end of the cycle. But in Agile, every sprint, no, like you can collect the feedback. Risk handling, late discovery, because no, as after the project has ended, you will discover no what are the risks no like happened or no going to happen. But no, like in Agile, early correction and detection and no like correction of the errors can happen. And Agile waterfall is best for highly stable regulated projects, and Agile is best for dynamic user driven projects. So waterfall builds the entire telemedicine system in a fixed sequence and tests it only at the end, whereas Agile delivers small usable features every week, continuously refining the system based on doctor and patient feedback. Clear? Yes? So any doubts? We are done with the project management. Any doubts from your side? I think we had at most 4 sessions, right? 3 to 4 sessions we have had. Okay, so I'll be staying back for 2 minutes, and again another 2 minutes. So if you have any doubts, you can ask. Okay, thanks, Aisha. Agile and waterfall projects have been very cleared in this session. Okay, thank you. Thanks for your feedback. Okay, so if there are no doubts, we will meet in another session with a new topic. Okay, thank you. Thanks for your participation. Have a great weekend. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.